Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy, and this is an album review. And yes, there is music playing in the background, in case you think you're looking on your computer for an open window somewhere. I'm looking at you, Charles. Yeah, I don't do album reviews, so this is probably an odd thing to find on my channel. If you look, there's like 2 or 3. And there's a few reasons for that. One is doing an album review takes a lot longer. It's harder. You have to at least have some idea of what you're talking about. So you have to have listened to it a few times and so it takes time and it's just harder to do, and I'm inherently lazy. But the other reason is that I used to do a lot of album reviews. There's 70 something of my written reviews on the internet somewhere, because I used to do a lot of reviewing. And it just kind of wears you down and you lose the love for doing it. However, having said that, every now and again you hear something that you think, wow, I think more people should know about this, you know? So, I've got this far, well, are we 10 minutes in or something, and I haven't actually said the name of the band, the album, or anything. So this is Cathubodua, and an album called Continuum. And Cathubodua they just sent me an email. If you look, there's one of their songs on my channel from a few weeks ago, and they just sent me an email saying, we've got this video, have a look. And that was it. So disclosure right out of the gate, I do not know Cathubodua, they don't know me. They haven't asked me to review this album or anything. I am literally just doing this, yeah? So in case you're wondering why I'm suddenly doing an album review, you'll find out. So they sent me an email with a link to their video, and you can see it on my channel. And during that song, I basically said, oh, you know, I'm looking forward to hearing this. And luckily for me, they also sent me a link to download the digital version of the album. So it turned out that was quite prophetic, because I have a workshop, and I was in my workshop with the old headphones in, you know, and I thought, oh, that Cathubodua album, I'll put that on. And bear in mind, in my workshop, I've got to be paying attention to what I'm doing. So, I put it on in a kind of, I'll listen to it in the background kind of way. And have you ever had that thing where you start listening to something, you know, in a I don't know what I'm going to get, I'll just put it on, and then you're busy, you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and it kind of dawns on you, you kind of sort of go, hang on a minute, this is really good, you know, and it kind of takes you out of what you're doing, and it requires something to do that, doesn't it? But you have like a moment where you sort of go, wait a minute, hang on, this is really something. And I'll tell you, this is really something. So the other reason I don't do album reviews is, what's the point? There's no point in me reviewing Iron Maiden's or Metallica or somebody popular, their new album, because I am a drop in the ocean and everyone already knows what they think. You know, you want to know about an album from someone famous, there are 10,000 opinions out there. So the only time I will do an album review is when I find something that's special enough that I want people to know about it. Do you see what I mean? So Cathubodua are not a famous band. They are a symphonic, an epic, what does it say on their channel? They're an epic, bear with me a second, epic symphonic metal band from Belgium. So you're laying your stall out there, because 1, you're going to have to be symphonic, but 2, you're going to have to be epic. But there's a very important word in symphonic metal band, and that is metal. And so many symphonic metal bands forget about the metal bit, and it all goes a bit flute and harp, you know? They kind of get lost in the composition of how symphonic they want to be, and they kind of, and I'm not naming anyone here, but they kind of end up with, you've got a singer who is it, if you like, and then you've got a band that are so far in the background that they're anonymous, and it just all gets a bit flute and harp, you know what I'm saying? So the symphonic bit kind of overrides the metal bit. So clearly I like this album. I like this album enough that I'm doing an album review is probably too strong a word. I'm not going to go through it track by track or anything like that. So what is it about this album? Right, okay. The first thing is, it is metal. It's metal enough, you know. They haven't forgotten that bit. The musicianship, but the tone and the metalness is there, and in plenty enough supply, you know. They've created something that has that really good balance of this is basically exactly what symphonic metal should be. This should be like the poster child for it, from a band I've never heard of, which I find surprising. I went and looked them up because I thought, am I being tricked here? Are these a load of famous musicians that have basically made a band and I just don't know about it? And no, I mean, no offense for saying you're not famous, guys. I'm sure you're reasonably well known, but you know, they're not like, it's not like someone from Nightwish and someone from Epica and someone from wherever all got together and made a band. These guys have just created, this is their first full-length album. There's an EP before this, I haven't heard that, but this is their first full-length album. The quality of the songwriting, the quality of the vision of this is quite surprising, and really good. The production values on this album are top-notch. This does not sound like a cheap album to make, you know. In fact, I've dragged a picture off their website. Let me just move out the way because I made it really big so you can see what was going on. If you paid just €12 for this, which is not a lot of money, look, that gatefold has a map in it. There's clearly a lot of work gone into this, you know. There's the gatefold digipack with the 16-page booklet and some stickers and even a guitar plectrum for €12. Now, I got the album for free, digitally for free, and I'm still buying this. I'm buying this, one, because I can't resist a map, but two, because I just want to support this band in some way. I'm just kind of blown away by this album. You can hear the amount of work that's gone into it. The album's an hour long, and I tell you, there are so many ideas stuffed into it. But I think the thing that I like the most is just the balance of the sounds. It is operatic. I mean, we're talking about symphonic metal, so it is operatic. I'll get to the performances in a minute. This is going to be a long one because, you know, it's an album. You need to give it some time, don't you? So the performances are well thought out, the way it all fits together, the balance of the symphonic and the metal. It's correct, as I said. This is what symphonic metal should be. It's got really great hooks. It's got really great melodies in it. It's one of those albums where you hear it for the first time, and just for the first time, like I say, I was busy doing something else, and for the first time I went, ooh, hang on a minute. I played this something like 6 times in a row, just on repeat, while I was doing the do, and it just grew and grew and grew until, you know, you literally, because then you start to recognize the melodies on the second go round, don't you? You go, oh, I remember this bit, you know, and that kind of, and a good album with lots of ideas in it. That's what happens. The more you listen to it, the more you get out of it. It doesn't, and I've got to be careful I don't burn it out, you know. But you know, some albums, they're all like, way right off out the gate, wow, that's amazing, and then it's like one big idea that grabs you and it wears off really quickly, whereas a good quality album, or in my humble opinion, a well-written album, it gets better as you listen to it. And that's exactly what this does. I basically felt compelled to do this album review because I'm just so happy to have found this thing, you know. I mean, didn't find it. The Cathubodua dropped it in my lap. Thank you very much. You've possibly made my year. So before I go on anymore, I'll play you a song. They have did one a couple of weeks ago, but they have a lyric video for Hydra, which I think is a really good song off the album to showcase all the different things in the album. So yes, it is symphonic metal. If you don't like symphonic metal, you're not gonna suddenly like it, let's face it. But if you do like anything like that, or if you just like well-crafted epic, and epic is the word, this album is epic, and if you like big, emotional, epic songs, well, cop for this, basically. What was my headphones? I'm looking for my headphones here, and they're not, they're on my desk. So bear with me a second while I'll just stop the music playing in the background. Bink. I mean, that was a kind of a rude stop, wasn't it? Right, so I'll play you this. This is Hydra. It's a lyric video, but I think it's a really good showcase for the musicians and the singer, and a good showcase for the album altogether. So, bear with me a second. I've had to rearrange a few things because I did an album review. Now I can't find the right button. Bink.
Submit, and you will live, defend your own existence. As the light fades from my heart, I too must have existed. Ways of that will now fulfill you, because we know no one's love fools me what I should be. Atrocity has no
Now, yes, it does all go a little bit Ghost Love Score at the end of that song. But I don't care. Nightwish certainly did not invent that musical style. It's epic. It's epic stuff. It builds so well. And the album just keeps doing that. Doesn't keep doing that particular style of song, but it just keeps building into epic moments. It all fits together so well. Another thing that I like is they have a musical theme from early in the album come back later in the album, rearranged. You know, that's forward thinking. Like I said, let me just switch this back on again. Look how much work they've put into this. If you're drawing a map to make your album, you're thinking about it, you know? So this thing, to go all X Factor, takes you on a journey. I am really blown away by this album. The musicianship is spot on. It goes metal when it needs to. The actual playing itself is interesting, it's entertaining, and it's also top quality stuff. Like I say, I went and looked up who this band were just in case I was missing something. Maybe I still have missed something, but I don't know. This has come out of thin air for me. I am quite, as you can see, I'm quite kind of, what's the word? Let's go with excited. I'm quite excited about this album. If I do a top 10 albums of the year, this one's going to be in it, you know? So you can't review an album, any album, of course, without talking about the singer. So the singer is Sarah van der Hayden. Her voice is quite amazing, I think, because if you just listen to that song that we just did, she has the top notes, she has the operatic, she has a beautifully clear voice when she wants to have one, and she also has the slightly, what's the word, rougher? That's probably not the right word, but she can do the sort of down, dirty power sort of thing. And I'm gonna use the F word here, so prepare yourself. Floor Jansen. There are parts of the singing on this that remind me of Floor Jansen. That I can't give a better, a bigger compliment than that. But not Nightwish Floor Jansen. There are parts of this that remind me of Revamp Floor Jansen, and Revamp Floor Jansen is my favourite Floor Jansen. Have I said Floor Jansen enough times? I can just keep saying it. So Sarah, if if you are watching this, I think your voice is absolutely amazing, because it goes to all these different places and fits exactly what the song needs when the song needs it, but it also has a really great tone to it. I said this when I was listening to the single that I did a couple of weeks ago. There is a tone to her voice that makes it a real pleasure to listen to. I think I'm in danger of just the hyperbole getting out of control here, but you know, if someone was saying, "Oh, can you name some really good sort of, you know, kind of operatic singers?" I'm going to say Floor Jansen, but then I'm pretty likely going to say Sarah van der Heyden on the back of it, you know, and then I'll go off into, you know, or just something, you know, what are your favourite female singers, you know, Anneke van Giersbergen, you know, blah 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 blah, you know, no, Sarah van der Heyden, have you heard her voice, you know? So yeah, I'm smitten by this album. Drumming, fantastic. Metal drumming, you know, not been pushed to the background, sort of like by the keyboard player keeps turning down the drums and turning up the keyboards in the mix, you know, that sort of thing. Yes, there are lots of keyboards in it, but they're not overwhelming. They're done in for the sake of orchestration. Guitar work, totally entertaining. But songwriting is what it's all about. It's about melodies and songwriting. You take a band like Flesh God Apocalypse, a completely extreme death metal band, and the reason they're so good is because embedded in it are proper melodies and good songwriting that move the song along. It's not just a noise. Melody and songwriting is everything, and this thing has it in spades. So have I bigged this album up enough? Just to say, if you like intricate symphonic, don't get me wrong, there's some opera in there. You know, there are the keyboards, there are the violins, there are the orchestration. But if you like that at all, and you want it to have that metal edge, you want it to be symphonic metal, get this album. Get it. Buy it. Buy that package. €12. I'll probably find out the postage is €30. But what can you do? I mean, you can get it with a T-shirt for like €25. It's a bargain, folks. So I got this album for free, and I'm going to buy it. I saw that packaging. I thought, oh yes, you will be mine. But what? But nothing. But go and buy it, people, because you can hear the production, you can hear the song quality, and you can hear the work that's been put into it. That's the thing that I think. If you buy this album and you listen to it once, I hope that at least you will go, ooh, I can hear what's going on here. But you listen to it 5 times. It's one of those 5 listen albums. And you will realize, oh my goodness, there's a lot going on here. So there you go. So Continuum by Cathubodua. This is their first full-length album. Please, everybody, buy this so they can afford to make another one. Because making music is hard, and you don't get a lot of return. So yeah, I mean, I'm buying it because I want the packaging and stuff, but I'm going to buy it just because I want to support them. This has been out a year, I think, and I am so glad they sent me that random email. So yeah, as I say, I don't know Cathubodua, they don't know me, they do not know I'm making this album review, they didn't ask me to. This is kind of, I think they're going to be more surprised than anyone that I did this. But yeah, totally impressed, totally. There you go. If that's whetted your appetite, go and check them out on YouTube. But unless you get this, you're not going to get the full package. You know, you're not going to get the full effect. I'll stop there. So yeah, there you go. Hope this was interesting. I don't do album reviews. It's because they're because I just do one when something special comes along. How's that? And this is special. Let me know what you think. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.